Some people believe that the richest person at the table is the one wearing the most expensive clothes. They're wrong. The most powerful person is the one holding the truth. This is the story of how one family mocked the woman they thought was a failure, until one phone call exposed a secret that destroyed every fake smile in the room. This isn't just a story about humiliation. It's a story about patience, betrayal, family politics, and the sweetest revenge money could never buy. The invitation arrived on a rainy Tuesday. Family dinner. Saturday. Don't be late. It came from my father. No, how have you been? No, we miss you. Just an order. I almost ignored it. After all, family dinners in our house weren't about love. They were competitions. Who earned the most? Who drove the nicest car? Who married the wealthiest spouse? And I always lost. At least, that's what everyone believed. 3 years earlier, I had left my father's company. Everyone called me stupid. My brother Ethan stayed behind and became the family's golden child. Meanwhile, I disappeared. According to relatives, I failed. I worked small jobs. I rented a tiny apartment. I never bragged online. I never showed expensive vacations. So everyone assumed I was struggling. Exactly the way I wanted. When I arrived at my parents' mansion, the dining room looked like a luxury hotel. Crystal glasses, silver candles, imported wine. Every relative was already seated. Then Ethan walked in. Beside him, a beautiful blonde woman wearing designer clothes worth more than my yearly wardrobe. "This is Vanessa," Ethan announced proudly. She smiled, but not kindly. It was the smile of someone already judging everyone in the room, especially me. Dinner hadn't even started before the insults began. "So," Vanessa asked loudly, "what do you actually do for work?" Everyone looked at me. I smiled politely. "I work with businesses." She laughed. "What is that, Ev? In man?" The table chuckled. "I help companies grow." "Oh," she said sarcastically. "So you're unemployed." More laughter. Even my father smiled. Every few minutes, Vanessa found another reason to mock me. She commented on my watch, my old phone, my simple jacket. "You know," she laughed, "Ethan told me you were the family disappointment." Silence. Nobody defended me. Not my mother. Not my father. Not even my cousins. Instead, my father leaned forward. "For once, stop making this family look bad." The words hit harder than any slap. Everyone nodded. I simply smiled. Inside, I made a decision. Tonight, they would regret every word. Dessert arrived. Vanessa had become even louder. She couldn't stop talking about success, luxury, connections, power. Then she proudly announced, "I've just been promoted." Everyone applauded. She smiled proudly. "I'm now head of corporate operations." She even mentioned the company. The second I heard its name, everything changed. Because I knew that company very well. In fact, I own nearly 60% of it. Not publicly, through an investment firm. Nobody at that table knew. Not even Vanessa. I quietly pulled my phone from my pocket. Vanessa laughed. "Oh look. He's pretending to be important." The table exploded with laughter. My father sighed. "Put your phone away." Instead, I opened one contact. The company's CEO. He answered on the second ring. "Good evening, ma'am. Sorry to disturb your dinner." "No problem. I have one question. Is Vanessa Collins currently employed?" "Yes." "Not anymore." There was silence. "I want her employment reviewed immediately." The CEO paused. "May I ask why?" "Violation of company ethics. Public harassment. Conduct damaging company reputation." "I understand. I'll handle it tonight." Call ended. Vanessa laughed nervously. "You actually think anyone believes that?" 30 seconds later, her phone rang. She smiled confidently, then answered. Within moments, her face turned white. Everyone watched. I understand." She hung up, hands shaking. "What happened?" Ethan asked. She whispered. "They suspended me." Effective immediately. The room froze. No one laughed anymore. My father stared at me. What did you do? I calmly placed another document on the table. It showed ownership records, investment reports, corporate shares. For 3 years, while everyone mocked me, I had quietly built an investment company, bought struggling businesses, turned them profitable, eventually acquiring controlling shares in Vanessa's employer. I wasn't unemployed. I wasn't broke. I wasn't the family disappointment. I had simply chosen silence over showing off. For the first time in my life, my father couldn't speak. The same man who told me to stop embarrassing the family now looked embarrassed himself. My mother began crying. Ethan lowered his head. Vanessa couldn't even look at me. The people who laughed loudest were now completely silent. Exactly as I planned. I stood up, picked up my coat, looked around the table, then smiled. I never came here to prove I was richer. I came to see whether my family would choose kindness over money. They failed. I turned toward Vanessa. I didn't end your career. You did. Respect is free. Humiliation is expensive. Then I walked toward the door. Behind me, no laughter, no jokes, only silence. The kind of silence people remember for the rest of their lives. Months later, I heard Ethan and Vanessa had separated. My father tried calling dozens of times. He wanted forgiveness. He wanted another family dinner. But some invitations arrived too late. Success isn't the best revenge. The best revenge is allowing people to discover, far too late, that they underestimated the wrong person. And sometimes, one phone call is enough to make every fake smile disappear forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Royal Revenge Stories for more unforgettable tales of betrayal, justice, karma, and satisfying revenge. Remember, never underestimate the quiet person at the table. They may already own the room.